Hello, this is my presentation on ConnectEd. It's a useful resource that I have actually used a few times in a couple of the classrooms that I've subbed in, and so I thought it was something that that you would all enjoy learning about. So here we go. So what is ConnectEd? ConnectEd is basically an online textbook, but it's kind of even more useful than an online textbook, as it has a lot of different resources like videos and presentations and worksheets and assessments and lesson plans and things of that nature that are helpful to both students as well as teachers. Currently, I am working for the Methacton School District, and their technology vision is pretty simple. They believe that they need to use state-of-the-art technology, and it's essential for quality education, and education is a shared responsibility with students and schools and family and the community. So they want to bring technology into education as much as possible. So how does the vision of Methacton work with ConnectEd? Well, like I mentioned, Methacton really wants to bring technology into the students' lives and education as much as possible. So ConnectEd is really useful as it is an online resource, and it can only be utilized through technology. So again, it uses online assessments. You could do online assignments. You can have literally an online classroom, and what's really cool about it is it has a lot of flipped classroom capabilities. So who can use this and how can they use it? Usually I think it's most useful for middle school and high school students. I've used it a lot for pre-algebra, but it's useful for algebra and trig and pre-calc as well as calculus. And I think it's most appropriate for the older kids. However, I know middle schoolers and younger kids use it too, but in order to use it, students need access to the internet. They have to have their own device, such as a Chromebook or an iPad or a laptop, something that they can use in the classroom and beyond the classroom, so that they can work on assignments. So what's needed? Students are going to need access to the internet at school and at home in order to access assignments and presentations and things of that nature. They're going to need their own devices. This is something that is best used when students have their own devices as opposed to sharing devices. So like I mentioned earlier, you can use Chromebooks, iPads, or tablets, something that can access the internet. They're also going to need a word processor like Google Docs or Microsoft. And it's also useful to have PowerPoint, because that way the presentations that are on this resource can be used and seen. So in the event that ConnectEd isn't working or teachers are having trouble using it, there are actually a lot of resources that are available in that instance. For example, they have their own website, and on the website there are video tutorials on how to use the resource and how to get things working. There is a help forum with Q&A where you can directly type, and that's what this graphic here is. You can directly type questions and others can answer them. There's PDF instructions on how to set up a login or how to set up a student login and things of that nature. And there's a bunch of different phone numbers to call, as well as an online chat option where you can chat in real time with someone from ConnectEd and they can directly answer your question. How much does it cost? Well, ConnectEd is, like I mentioned, it's an online textbook basically, and it comes with the textbooks that are purchased. So depending on how many textbooks are purchased is going to determine the final cost. So it's about $120 per textbook figure. And again, that's going to vary depending on what textbook you're buying. But depending on the textbooks, how many textbooks you have is going to determine the total cost of Connected. But the nice thing about it is those technical supports are available and they come with the textbooks. So it is all kind of bundled into one resource. So how do I plan on using Connected? I've actually already used it, and I really, really like it. What's nice is the presentations that are on Connected and are on specific chapters actually have the Common Core standards listed, and so you know exactly what standards you're using, and the students know as well. The learning goals are really important for any teacher, and using Connected can really help achieve those learning goals, because you can use the provided assessments and you can use the provided resources as the goals. You can kind of gauge how many questions you want the students to get correct, or how well do you want the students to understand something, and how do you want them to show their understanding. It can all be done on Connected. And what's really nice about the resources available for differentiated instruction is that there are different resources for different levels. They have enhanced resources, they have things that are of different levels, stuff for students who may not understand the concept fully, and then they have challenging worksheets and activities to use for students who understand very well. Through my research and use of Connected, I have really been able to utilize using flipped classroom concepts, and I have gained a lot of benefits from using flipped classroom. It's nice to have the students go home and look at the videos and kind of teach themselves, and then they come into class and they're ready to go, and that we can do the guided practice in class, and then it becomes more collaborative versus me lecturing and I guess having the students sit there and be bored, for lack of a better word. It's more engaging. The students enjoy themselves a lot more, and I get better connections with my students. A lot of benefits from using this forum and using this online textbook. It's really very wonderful. So that is Connected in a nutshell. These are the resources that I've used, and I hope you are intrigued by this program, and I hope that you go in and see if you can use it yourself. I think it's a wonderful program, and I've benefited a lot from it. So thank you very much.